they removed the by-the-book trailer from our school system. And they went a whole year without any students being able to enter in here and learn about the Bible. It was, of course, just a general Christian belief, but that was completely removed. And they even had separate meters so that they weren't even using taxpayers' money. They were just simply sitting on school property, and the students would go in and leave. If the students didn't want to, they could choose another option. But that ended up, we actually got that taken care of, and it's just off of school grounds now, so we don't have to make any other fights about that. But it's at least back, but it's again an example of how we have to try and fight for our rights as religious people. There was also a case where in California it had been ruled against the law to say the Pledge of Allegiance just because it says under God. But when that happened, they actually just recently changed that law and appealed it, and it's now okay. So it can be done. It can be fought and won. But the second part of the amendment that seems to be ignored or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Those that are in the support of the separation of church and state want you to believe that God has not been kicked out of our schools. Well, it's time to bring religion back into our children's life at schools. We need to start fighting for our rights. We need to start writing letters to our representatives. I offer up any other religion that is an established religion. If they would like, they could provide another source of something like our Bible trailer that they can have for their religions, or even offer up some of their religious icons to be placed in our school. I mean, the Ten Commandments are a set of rules to live by. I mean, the only one that you can really argue with is the first commandment, which is, I believe in one God. Other than that, there are things like, I shall not kill, I will not lie. I mean, those are rules to live by. I offer up anybody else with an established religion to offer up their rules to live by. If we stand up for our beliefs and fight to preserve them, then Congress will have no other choice than to hear us, take action in our favor. We can stop programs like the Bible trailer from ending because there will be equal opportunities from other established religions that maybe they can offer up theirs as another source. We can reinstate the moment of silence because, really, what is wrong with a moment of silence? If you choose to pray, fine. If you choose to think about what homework you had last night, fine. It's a moment of silence, just a moment of thought. And it also, I'd like to allow options of religious courses. In Kentucky, they're actually trying to get a Bible-based social studies class that's an optional class for the high school students. And that's actually not against the law, but they still have opposition fighting them. But it's not against the law because you can teach the Bible as long as you do not preach the Bible. The morality of our students will increase if we start bringing in some of this stuff back into our schools. And we will do this without spending tax money. I mean, like our Huntington's By the Book trailer was actually run by the Associated Churches. No money, no tax dollars whatsoever were used towards that program. And I think that we can continue programs like that. So in conclusion, I do not want to have that taxpayers support our religious programs, such as By the Book, but I want the government to respect our rights too. If the government has their way, they would want Christians to keep their religion in their private life only. The makers of our Declaration of Independence never intended it to be an impregnable wall of separation of church and state, yet lawmakers have now taken Jefferson's words out of context and established the laws their way anyways. Congress itself did not even follow their own separation of church and state. When Congress convenes, they pray. The separation of church and state, they do not meet on holidays. Is that an impregnable wall of separation of church and state? that they expect us to follow in our schools? We need to stop the Congress that does not even follow their own rules from taking away what little rights we do have, and maybe fight for the ones that they've already taken away and step up and try to get some of those back. But I want to leave you with a final word here. It's from an anonymous email that was sent to me by my mother-in-law, but it has some good words in it. The law is the law. So if the United States government determines that it is against the law for the words "under God" to be on our money, then so be it. And if that same government decides that the Ten Commandments are not to be used in or on a government installation, then so be it. I say so be it because I would like to be a law-abiding American citizen. I say so be it because I would like to think that smarter people than I are in positions to make good decisions. I would like to think that those people have the American public's interest in heart. But you know what else I'd like? Since we can't pray to God, can't trust in God, and cannot post His commandments in government buildings, I don't believe that the government and its employees should participate in Easter and Christmas celebrations, which honor the God that our government is eliminating from many facets of American life. I'd like my mail delivered on Christmas, Good Friday, Thanksgiving, and Easter. After all, it's just another day. I'd like the U.S. Supreme Court to be in session for Christmas, Good Friday, Thanksgiving, and Easter, as well as Sundays. After all, it's just another day. I'd like the Senate and the House of Representatives to not to have to worry about getting home for the Christmas break. After all, it's just another day. I'm thinking that a lot of our taxpayer dollars could be saved if all government offices and services would work on Christmas, Good Friday, and Easter. It shouldn't cost any overtime, since those would be just like any other day. If the week to a government that is trying to be politically correct. In fact, I think that our government should work on Sundays, initially set aside for the worshiping God, because after all, our government says that it should be just another day. Is this the Congress that believes in the impregnable wall of the separation of church and state? I don't think